welcome. It's lovely to have you here today. Hi, I'm Kelly, and I would like to share with you why I'm not like you, but I am like you. And I have been meditating and getting ready and following my spiritual process to connect with my guides and to come up with these few pages of messages has taken me about 3.5 hours, and it's one of the most incredible things to do is to work with spirit. So we're going to do a prayer for New Zealand workers of light, and we are going to ask what guidance do the New Zealand cards have for the New Zealand workers of light today. And I just want to start off with this honeycomb concept. And as a worker of light, we are all just one of these many honeycomby things. And we are a community and we are banding together. I was out there in the wilderness all alone, having absolute faith that there were other lights doing their own thing. And now is the time that we are coming together. I was working on the YouTube channel, get it? And this woman, Yvette, Wayfarer Gypsies, just popped up into my feed. It just showed up. So that sent me on a journey of searching the YouTube channel for New Zealand spirituality, New Zealand tarot. Every result set brought up this particular woman, but I was looking for tarot card readers, and I came across Spirituality with Jay. Back at that time, my brand was Ask Auntie Kelly Kelly, and I posted something on the Twittergram, and the man on the Twitter told me about the Woo Woo shop, which his wife runs in Wanganui, and her name is Danita, and I watched a few of her videos, and that's where this honeycomb connection kind of came from. She had a deck in this shape, and then she put it all together like it was a honeycomb. So what's the strength behind the honeycomb shape? The two surface ones, so probably these ones, I'm just going to read it. The two surface sheets parallel to each other provide flexural immobility, while the structure benefits the entire panel against the stress positioned on it. Because of it, it can be an alternative for other core materials, such as aluminium as well as composites. And yesterday, Jay, on her channel, sort of mentioned this, that all the spiritual community is, the individual lights are now connecting with the other individual lights. And she said, we're all asking, what do you want me to bring to the table? So, what is my honeycomb piece? And in the last week, it has been made extremely clear to me that for the next 9 months, this is my honeycomb hole. I am the prayer writer. So, bear with me. So here's a brief overview of my life. And yeah, truly, this is as unmessy as it gets. So let's start from here. I was born in St. Helens Hospital. I went to Swanson Primary School. I went to Waitakere College. I went to the University of Auckland for 1 year. I went to Unitec, 3 years there. And then I moved into the corporate IT world. And I have put on my high heels and I have clippy-clopped myself around the Auckland, Hawke's Bay, Manawatu and Wellington. I've never felt pulled to visit the world because I've been there, done that. And I've always felt that I had a Polynesian heart. So for me, home when I've been to Aussie a few times, and I kind of feel at home there, like my Anzac brothers. But Rarotonga, that is where my heart beats to the vibration of my soul essence. Where have I lived? West Auckland, Bulls a couple of times, Ohakia a couple of times, Bunnythorpe, Onga, West Auckland. Oh yeah, and now I'm back full circle, West Auckland, 3 kilometres from where it all began. Oh, and I've lived in Taradale and Napier. Yeah, I've missed quite a few actually. So, and as I do my spiritual work, it's like every day things get added and refined, and you almost had that right. So a few days ago I drew a grid, and it was, this is life, time, and this is our path to being our true self. And at birth we are truly enlightened, and then we kind of get to this bit where the intuitive ignorance, if we're the majority, gets natured into us. And my life has been this ever-growing journey towards intuitive intelligence. So when we start along here, and as we all know, this is not a straight line, baby. This is a roller coaster when you picked a spiritual path. But anyway, let's just calm down. So, my personal story of childhood trauma and experiences that my soul agreed to experience. These days of my lives were all to empath. Oh, you. See, then they changed it. Were all to empath me and prepare me for the being, the 8th dimension, that when I'm up here and is not very far away, I'm going to be. So, on my mum's side, they were always popping off. Yeah, what was it? We're off to see the clairvoyant. No, they didn't say it like that. But so this was just completely normalized, and it was, off to see the clairvoyant, off to get the groceries, off to get our hair cut, off to buy some concrete, off to the plant centre, off to the clairvoyant. So that was completely normalized. The other thing that was completely normalized in my house was no bigotry. Yeah, absolutely no bigotry. So those were my blessings. But there were other things that, trauma, that turned me into that empath. And deep breath. I think my little soul said, how do I stay pure? And they said, we will send the energy of the soul, with the soul essence that's in my soul tribe up there, to be the dad's mother, the grandma. My safe place. Okay, deep breaths. There's some pretty significant traumatic events through here, but this one here, my mum's mum, that grandmother, committed suicide. I was just a teenager, 13. First funeral, maybe only 12. First funeral, first dead body, and the first point of shame and censorship that came into my human part, because you're not allowed to talk about suicide, and you're definitely not allowed to say that your grandmother made the ultimate sacrifice and took herself off the earth plane that way. So yeah, that's kind of some shame started coming in there. So then I got to here and I had a first tower moment, and I just started praying to my grandparent, this one, and she came and helped me. And I had a moment where a huge calm came over me, and she said, if you don't want to see that person on the earth plane ever again, calm yourself down and go there right now. And that prevented a suicide. My second tower moment. That's where I went to the clairvoyant myself and I started all of the spiritual journey because there has to be something up there or else, it would spirituality, faith, it was my crutch. Without it, I could not have got through that. So you think, they just said. And I went to a clairvoyant who said, you will do this work one day. You have used your powers for dark before. This time you don't. But do it your way. And she said, if someone comes to you for a reading and you look at them and you're like, no, I'm just going to sit down and have a cup of tea with them, you do it that way. And so, that's why I was like, oh, tea and tarot, ask Auntie Kelly. That must have been what she meant. Anyhow, then I moved, so I did all this art and 2 or 3 years of just intuitive stuff. So here we go, here's some intuitive stuff. My nephew was born premature and I was in the middle of painting that green painting and I just knew to sticky him on it, say some prayers, put some crystals up, and now he is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 12-year-old. So yeah, just 29 and a half weeks, people. Yeah. A little human. So beautiful. Anyway, so then I fell into this formal spiritual lessons and work, and I spent quite a few years fully diving into the discipline of formal spiritual lessons and work. I was trained in a spiritualist church circle, and then I took all of those learnings and everything that my soul said it would have in it, and I became a podium medium and a guest podium medium, and then I moved into a circle leader, and as one of my work colleagues used to say, is tonight your how to be a witch class? And I was like, no, that's Monday. Anyway, so yeah, and in my circles I had adult circles and teenage circles and message. I don't know what that is, but anyway, this is my message. Sorry, caught up. So I did all of that, and then I moved on, and then I've been in this last 10 years of my life, and look at all those tower moments. This is what happened. My grandma died. My grandma went home. That's what happened. But in here, as all part of this work, I had someone who I worked with said, you prevented my suicide. I was going to do that, and then I met you. So thank you, Kelly. So, so then my grandma died, and lots of tower moments, and it was the dark night of the soul trauma, probably the last 10 years, and I've heard during this time, someone else told me if I hadn't have met you, I would have killed myself. And then people have got back in touch, and so different back in time years, people have said, what you don't know what you did, but that's what you helped me with. And I'm like, whoop, yay, the world needs you. So I'm really thrilled with that. So in this period is where I have been afforded a point in time label as complex PTSD. So doesn't not make sense. So anyway, let's move on. This is me here, but just up to here. So the end of May 2022, I resigned from my corporate job. I spent 6 weeks in this bed, healing and downloading. So basically I just spent heaps of time watching YouTube, and I'd get up and do things that I wanted to do, get myself food, have showers, do the dishes. I did what I wanted to do, but I didn't do anything that anyone else wanted me to do. So yeah, that was really different. Then on the 13th and the 14th of July, under the full moon, I looked up and I said, I'm ready to do my life mission, show me what it is. And the Wetiko curse was broken and my free will returned, and it was as simple as saying, I do not consent. And that is when this is what came to me, that for the next 9 months, you are, I didn't know it then, but I'm going to be one of those little honeycomb thing, the prayer writer, and I just have to give everything I've learnt on this to myself and whoever wants it as a free will offering. So, and basically what that means is anything I stumble across that I think will help me, I pay for it. But I do not tell anyone else what helped me that I paid for. Anything I stumble across that's free, I will tell everyone about that. So that's basically that. And I will not charge for these prayers. And there's some reasons for that, but anyway, that's not the important bit. So, back over here, there's a lot of things, but... So, the lighthouse, a beacon of light. I've had 2 different people, men, give me lighthouses, that I'm the beacon of light. And if you imagine the Fool's Journey through the Major Arcana, imagine there's a spiral stairway going around the outside of that tower, and you're going higher and higher. And with each journey around the Major Arcana, you know, from the Fool to the World, you get a little bit higher, and as you look out, you go, oh, I see everything so differently from where I was back down at ground level. And then we're always on this journey of ascension. Right, just push the stop button. Haha, wonder how many times I'll do that. So yeah, we're on this journey of ascension up the tower. So when you go once around the Major Arcana, you get to a level and you can see things differently. As you then go do your Fool's Journey again and you spiral up the tower, you get a bit higher. And what I'm trying to say is every time you get a little bit higher, you can see things so much more clearly. So for every one of these tower moments, it has been, you know, I've had the tower and then I've continued to get to the world and see the lesson, and each time I am just slightly higher up so I can see everything from that higher, clearer perspective. And if I haven't got that right, I'm not going to ever get that right. So why are the Lord of the Rings and Stephen King's The Dark Tower here? Because I read Stephen King's The Dark Tower long before I knew anything about spirituality, and I loved the story. And then I reread it after I knew about spirituality, and I was like, oh, this is just Roland's journey through the Major Arcana. And all the characters are the archetypes, and he's the archetype. And that's why I've also got Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is also the same story. And we're all the archetypes, and my mum and I, we're like, Samwise Gamgee's the hero. He was the one who was tempted by the darkness. He came back to the light. And when Frodo, the supposed hero of the story, got lost in the darkness, what does Samwise Gamgee say? So I'm probably not going to get it right. Samwise Gamgee said, I can't carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you. So that's all of that symbolism, and if that didn't sink in, it didn't sink in. Yes. So this point here, oh, I just went off on a little sideways. So when I said this, I will do this, what's been happening is I've been spiraling back down my entire life to figure out what my honeycomb is, what this looks like in the honeycomb. And it's the prayer writer. But yeah, I started out as Ask Auntie Kelly, then I turned into the tarot healer, and then I settled on prayer writer. And then everyone's like, what are you doing here on the 1st of April 2023? And it's like, it's the big fat shrug emoji. I don't know, but Spirit does, and that's cool enough for me. Right. So, consolidation. We are in the hallway. So, Rose says, straight talk, Kelly, no beating around the bush, girly. Yeah, we are, call it, there is a battle for light and dark, and we are in it. The door has closed to the world that we believed was safe and in the light, and the new door has not opened, and we are in the hallway. So, to help with that, there's these things I need to share with you. So, Hell in the Hallway is that painting there. And so this was back when I did not know that I knew I was praying, but I didn't know what I was doing, if that makes sense. And this is painting number 19, called Hell in the Hallway. And I painted it on Friday, the 22nd of April, 2011. And it says, when one door opens, another door closes. When one door closes, another one opens. But it's hell in the hallway. Welcome to my Hawke's Bay hallway. My in-between what once was and what will be. My hell. My oh my God. My whoops, where did that come from? Me, caught between the blue sky and the green of the Hawke's Bay countryside, and in between, a purple bruised me, crushed between the sky and the bay, so much space and not enough room for me, my grief, my growth, my healing, my me. So yeah, that's the writing. Let's move to Love in the Hallway. So that was painted in Rarotonga on Thursday, the 8th of September 2011, and it is painting number 29, and it is called Love in the Hallway. When one door closes, another door opens, and sometimes there is only love in the hallway. Love telling you that it's been worth the wait. Wish upon a star, honour your family and your family history, both the beings and everything else, pets, nature, faith, spirit. Thank the universe for this goodbye that opens you for so many more hellos, and imagine and feel how wonderful it'll be in the next room. Welcome to my love hallway, my Raro, my in-between, who I am and who I will be, the green of the island, the blue of the sky and the sea, and in between, a perfect me. So, then, as part of all bringing this together, I went to this journal first, which we'll get to next, and then today I was guided to bring, and I was like, oh, I don't have a picture of Grandma. I was guided to bring this book, which has her eulogy that I wrote in it. So I wrote her eulogy, and I need to know that page. wrote her eulogy on the special blue paper, which is the same special blue paper I write the poems on the back of these with. And when I delivered her eulogy, what I was doing was I was going to bring these people, her mother. And this is who I asked for strength to deliver that eulogy and do her girl proud. And what she said was, girlie, we've given you all the strength you're ever going to get from us. Just get up there and do it. With love, of course. And then, there was my grandma. So I do have a picture of her. And I just want to read the first line of her eulogy. Life is made up of the years that mean nothing and moments that mean it all. So I'm going to stop right there on the eulogy, move on from that one, because that's not, because, yeah, that, anyway, yeah, and I'll clear you up. Then there's, in this journal, yesterday, it was the next journal, and here it is, the beginning, Monday the 26th of November 2012, and on her birthday, how about we put her here while I read this one. On her birthday, I went and sat at her house on the step and wrote this. Purple haze sweeping past ruffled tufts, offering warmth to a winter's day. Pia Kora-san. Turn the page to December, to your birthday, and the story has changed. Thin and transparent, opaque sky framing the summer's moon, like the perfection of thought, visitors in passionate red, saluting the universe. We salute you today, Grandma. We have remembered you as you always remembered us. Your birds are enjoying their bread, and I'm sad, as I know there will be less than 10 times that I sit here around you and what remains of you on the earth plane. The remnants of a life lived with love and heartache, joy and loss, all the things that make up a life, mean nothing in the end. It's only the love that remains, the love that sustains and allows us to carry on. The key turned for me when you left, and I would turn it back for another day with you. But those, breathe, but those are not choices available to me. So instead, I must look forward with love and joy in my heart, knowing that you are now resting with the angels. My spirit team will be happy for you to join them, Grandma. You know some of the deepest, darkest places in my heart, and you'll help my team focus their energies, thawing the deepest parts of me. Thank you, Grandma, for all you were to me, all you gave to me, all the love, and I know it's only going to grow from here. Thank you, always. And then, on the final page, was this. Sometimes there is love in the hallway. Sometimes there is hell in the hallway. Sometimes there is planning and intention setting in the hallway, so Spirit knows which doors to open. Let it begin. And I wrote that on Tuesday, the 15th of July, 2013. They did say, good luck, bring tissues. Right, let's, oh, and then the last one. So just as I was almost finishing, and the Bible that has come to me from Onga Onga, from, we've talked about that in the last few days, and that I was going to just open up for the baby picture, and I was looking for a particular psalm, And when I opened it, the bookmark was actually saying, this is the Psalm, Kelly. So Psalm 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. He meditates, day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So yeah, thank you for that message. Right. Anyway, my lane, my piece of the honeycomb is on this third rebrand. I'm the prayer writer. And how this has all been confirmed for me is I've updated my YouTube channel, and depending on what device you use, my grandma, this grandma that I just showed you, there's a picture of her when she's young and she's reaching for a snow pea. And I put up a picture of me. So I've finally come out into the light and shown who I truly am. So that was one tick. The next thing is that the glass table broke. So my glass table where I was doing all my other work, I walked past and the cup of tea cup touched the edge and the table literally broke. So, and I just knew, well, then I need a wood table to write these prayers on. And so I have gone and got that table, and it will hopefully arrive on the 28th of the 8th, 2022, which means for its first use, its first day of work will be the 29th of the 8th, 2022, which is the birthday of my other beautiful gram. So I have my grandma and I have my gram. And now that I am no longer being censored and not ashamed of her, they are both working with me, and I am thrilled. Okay, so for anyone who knows Stephen King and the Dark Tower, if not, maybe pick up the first book. The man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. So Stephen King wrote that. And I've just rewritten it. The corporations in black fled around the globe, and the light workers followed and sent out a meeting party to greet them. So what this book said on the last page, this one here. So yes, when one door closes, another door opens. Sometimes there is love in the hallway, sometimes there is hell in the hallway. Sometimes there is planning and intention setting in the hallway, so Spirit knows what doors to open. Let it be. Let it begin and let it be. So this has been a long, huge introduction to get us to the prayer. And yeah, so prayer for New Zealand workers of light, and there's two things. It's been programmed. It has a pure vibration, and these words and these dates and everything can just be switched out, and it will still work, except for this little asterisk. You know, there's always the fine print. So let's go to the fine print before we begin. So yeah, the little asterisk, it's just program it to your personal vibration. But here's the thing, hard-coded to the love vibration only. This is completely unhackable. So anyone who has a false belief that they can just do a little switcheroo and use this for the not light, you are well mistaken. And I'll tell you right up front, what happens is it just gets catched, transmuted into light, the power gets to the power of 10, and then that just gets sent back to the person that you did it to. So full disclaimer, if anyone does that and tries to unhard code it to the not love, yeah, anyway, not gonna have to repeat that. So what was this bit? Oh, so yeah, as I got to this page, and so I always start out with the one song. It's all coming back to me now as I start my meditation and my prayers. And the YouTube came up with this. Like, this is when you come up with spirit that, like, I could not make this stuff up. So yeah, it was the rose, and I'll put that little linky in the link, which is what I do. All the little links that have been part of my journey, and I'll put them in the thing if they are free, and that one is. So let's go. Heavenly Father, spirit teams, angels, archangels, ascended masters, guides, loved ones, helpers, ancestors, and all the tupuna of all the lands, we thank you for the eternal love, guidance, comfort, and autonomy you have always afforded us. The gift of infantilization and removal of agency has only been inflicted by corporations, never you, my beautiful soul and home family. And I thank you for showing me that so clearly over and during the past 2.5 years. I thank you most for showing me firstly what true blind faith looks like on a massive you cannot not see this Kelly scale. And secondly, exactly how powerful the power of spelling is. They are called spells, and the words are what makes the magic, intent to manifest. As one of at least 1 million light workers in New Zealand, praying to you all up there to show and attract other like-hearted souls to me, let me vibe with my tribe spirit. I ask for myself and all within our like-hearted community that the following energies are brought close to us all to coordinate and marshal our guides for love. As always, a trinity is best. So I/we, and I'm going to just say the I. No, I'm going to say the we, because you already said the I for you when you wrote it. Okay. As always, a trinity is best. We ask that Archangel Chamuel is brought forward and coordinates and consolidates all of our individual honeycomb prayers and efforts of love and light, and ask for and accept Chamuel's help with escorting us through life's traverses and making our journey smooth and successful. We ask that Quanti is brought forward and coordinates and consolidates all of our individual prayers, requests, demands, and orders to allow the light and the love vibration energy, replacing every fear-based leader with leaders who act and make decisions from wisdom and understanding, and living and being Rose's 8 dimensions. We ask for and accept Quanti's help. We ask that Archangel Raguel is brought forward to actively and specifically oversee and coordinate and classify all of our individual prayers for help with our mission and evolution of our life's path. Please help our angels harmonize and be harmonious and orderly as they process the influx of loving prayers. We ask for and accept Archangel Raguel's help. And then I just got 4 is better. You've already asked me. Rose is here. Get on with it. So that's true. As always, we leave ourselves in your loving and safe hands. Kia ora. Amen. So be it. And then they just told me to remember to do the New Zealand cards. And actually I started on 41 subscriptions in my YouTube channel, and it was up to 41 while I was doing all of this. Be like Frodo. Don't be like Frodo, be like Samwise Gamgee. That's for me, not anyone else. And as I was just about to finish all of this, the song that came on was Sing for the Moment, Eminem and Steve Tyler's Dream On. So I'll pop that little link, and yes, we will just finish with the cards for New Zealand. So what guidance do the New Zealand cards have for the New Zealand workers of light today? And I wanted to do them on this because it's such a beautiful book, and I'm like, nah, you got to do them on this. So, okay. So, here we go. Okay. So this one. This one. This one. This one. This one. This one. Okay. So obviously, yeah, see, so I'm doing this in my bed because ain't nothing going to stop me doing Spirit's work, you know. The table turns up on Sunday, and yep, so that's that. Boom. Right. So, right. Okay. So us, the light workers, Tower, God of Lightning, sudden upheaval, broken pride, disaster. So yeah, a lot of us are going through our own personal Tower moments as we awaken. And okay, so what guidance? The world, Tangaroa, God of the sea, fulfillment, harmony, completion. So that's the guidance we get there. What's the history? What's the background that led us to this place, you know, collectively and individually? Death. Hini Nui Tupo, goddess of death. End of cycles, beginnings, change, metamorphosis. Like, this was inevitable, people. The systems, the corporations, they were toxic. They are not built and designed or run and controlled by like-hearted, love-hearted people. So that's what led us to this. So what's the situation? What's going on in between the Tower moment and us, you know, knowing it all works out? The energy, the situation. The Hierophant, the High Priest. Tradition, conformity, morality, ethics. So yeah, all of those things, you know, the people educating and you know, that card, I'm just saying, the structures, the corporations, the religions, everything, you know, the everything, all of those corporations, all of those structures that was handing us out stuff, it wasn't from a place of love and light. And that's what's going on, is this sweep out the dark and bring in the light. So the outcome for this situation: the High Priestess, Rohi, goddess of the spirit world, motherhood, fertility, nature. Like, for me, this mysterious card is this is saying the earth and Papatuanuku, and we are all her progeny, every single one of us, the 8 billion on the planet, the trees, the animals, the everything. So the outcome is, get Papatuanuku on your side. And it's as easy as what Rose tells me, is every morning before I have my breakfast, I open the door and I send healing to Papatuanuku. So yeah, watch the Rose video for if you feel drawn to do that as well. So guidance, people. What guidance do we need? Some advice. the Emperor, the Supreme God, authority, structure, control, fatherhood. Yeah. Divine masculine. Sit in your own divine masculine power and do not let these hierophanty type beings speak down to you, and yeah, do not fall for the temptation of falling for their lies and becoming afraid. We're way too powerful for that. Anyhow, some secondary advice. So what's the secondary advice? The Fool. Innocence, new beginnings, free spirit. And it's just have the confidence to start this journey, this way around the tower, completely unshackled from any beliefs that were created for you. Rose says, I am not programmed by the state and I am not programmed by religion. So yeah, we get rid of those programs, and it's as easy as saying just what Rose says. I am not. Words are spells, they're powerful. So yeah, that's that advice. And whoa, those cards, I'm just blown away, ecstatic, happy. And here's the next one. So the divine guidance. So I'm just gonna do this, and this is the one that wants to come out. Have faith. Have faith. Be generous and be open to the generosity of others. So that was a long one, but now you know me. So hi, I'm Kelly. I'm a piece of the honeycomb, and I am the prayer writer. Much love and light, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Kia ora. Amen.